Stop whatever you're doing right now. What I am about to show you is going to absolutely blow your mind. Each and every United States citizen needs to see this video. Please share it with each and everybody that you know. This is going to be very simple and easy to understand, and it is all about our Constitution, Bill of Rights. It's all about our God-given rights and how they were stolen. And what we need to do today, right now, before the sun goes down, is we, the people, need to fire. This is going to be the easiest video you've ever saw in your life to understand. I do believe that we, the people, have had enough. Are you ready? Here we go.
General Flynn, flash message on Monday, April 27, 2020. Flash, flash, flash. Sir, your person, Michael Thomas Flynn, cannot stand trial as Michael T. Flynn. Michael Thomas Flynn is your person's full legal name and must be used in legal matters. Your person was transformed to a thing, slave, Michael T. Flynn, and a slave thing has no rights. You are a victim of human trafficking. You're a victim of identity theft. You're a victim of many things. So we'll get into that later, but under the Criminal Code of the United States, which would be Title 18, United States Code 241, and Title 18, United States Code 242, the proceedings you went through would be a conspiracy against your rights and a deprivation of rights under color of law. They're only pretending to do the law. There's nothing lawful about what they're doing because they're not using your name and they're not using their name. And they use the wrong name for the court and so forth and so on. And I'll show you the proof. But the other thing is that all who served have privilege to trial by court-martial. You should never have been there in the first place, sir. You should just say, well, then I invoke my privilege of trial by court-martial. Because under court-martial, your rights to due process are preserved. Now, here in the world, there is no right to due process because we're not under the Constitution. We're under some kind of martial law, military rule that goes back to Lincoln and him declaring martial law in 1861. Since then, now we're under an insurrection, is what it looks like, by this place called the United States of America, because Uncle Sam, which is the United States, did not bring charges against him. What happened are the members of the D.C. bar have conspired to prosecute a color of law simulated legal process in a foreign jurisdiction. That jurisdiction would be called the United States of America, not the United States of America, which is the Confederation under the Articles of Confederation. The style of the Confederation shall be the United States of America. That'd be the first article. No, this is United States of America, which is talked about in the Treaty of Peace of 1783, which King George III is, claiming what he's there for and what's his, and he claims the United States of America as one of his dominions. Well, look at who's charging you on your paperwork. We will here in a minute. We'll actually look at the documents, but, just look at who the plaintiff is. It says, United States of America. Well, sir, what happened to you happens daily in every courtroom in the United States. Because we're under some kind of insurrection, and we, the people, need relief. So we ask the Army of the United States to enforce the laws of the United States in accordance with 10 U.S.C. Chapter 13, insurrection, or 10 U.S.C. Chapter 15, insurrection. I don't know why we have two that say insurrection, but there they are. So yeah, because there is nobody enforcing the law, and I'm going to show you that no officer or legislator has taken the oaths required for them to hold a civil office under the Constitution. And so that all that leaves is the military, which would be officers with the oath of office they took, and the enlisted with the oath of office that we took. And my oath of office isn't the same as yours. My oath of office as the enlisted includes an oath to the President of the United States, not United States of America. Well, Donald J. Trump is the President of the United States of America, but he's not the President of the United States. For him to be President of the United States, he would have to be known as Donald John Trump, right, in his full legal name. So, hey, I'm Staff Sergeant Robert Allen Rabuski, by the way, U.S. Army veteran. Social Security number 374-506794, DODID 121128006, so we can precisely identify who it is I am. And if you'd like to talk to me, or email me, or have somebody email me, porterrecord@AOL.com, or my phone is 616-712-6179, because I can never give you all the things I can tell you this short video, but my intention is just to have you take a look at some things. So, you know, the Army is lucky. It's not enough videos here recently, and put stuff on the REPUGNANT. I'm sure the NSA's got a copy, right? Just word search for stuff, or, you know, take a minute and read them, or watch them. And then if you would, please tell Donald John Trump that the cure that he needs, I don't want to call it a cure, so I'm going to go back. We're not going to cure anything. We're going to dissolve viruses, germs, bacteria, and microorganisms by using kerosene or turpentine, which I talked about in a couple of videos here in the last month, which was kerosene your keister, and the dose makes noise. You'll see that cure, well, again, I don't think they called it cure. I think they just called it, they dissolved the tuberculosis germs back in the 1900s, 1900, 1910, by simply injecting or inhaling, actually not injecting, inhaling the mist of kerosene into the lungs. And people would do that for a month to 4 months with total recovery. Well, not only does it take care of the stuff in the lungs, it also gets into the bloodstream, and it chases out all the critters that run through your bloodstream that end up in your testicles or your prostate or God knows where. They start their little column. So, could you please tell Donald John Trump he doesn't need that expensive stuff they're talking about at Sinai Hospital. Everybody needs a little kerosene or turpentine. Or heck, a little bit of both. So I'll leave it that for later. And for now, I'm going to go grab a few sheets to get started. So give me just a second. Be right back, sir.
Now, as you can see, they don't want you to see the video because they got these lines. They won't seem to take it down.
Okay, General Flint's, because you were kind enough to post your statement that you filed into your court case, I was able to find this court case. And this is actually the very first document that was filed into your court case. They're claiming to be an information. And as we look at some other documents and material of interest, you'll see that in this case, this doesn't have any file stamp from the clerk on there. As we look at other documents, or you look at all your documents, and just start looking at the names of the court, you're going to see that the names change. Right? Some will have a file stamp. Some won't, like this one. Some will have this name. Some will have a different name, as we'll see. It says United States of America is the plaintiff. Actually, it doesn't even say they're the plaintiff, right? It just says you're the defendant. It says United States. Well, that's not the United States. Again, this is King George's jurisdiction. I'll show you in just a second. And Michael T. Flynn, that's a thing. That's not a person, right? You have a full legal name. It's a name on your birth record. It's the name you put on your oath of office to become an officer. That name. You can't be tried as Michael T. Flynn in the United States. It would be unconstitutional. As you can see, there's no criminal number on here, and they're saying the violation is supposed to be 18 U.S.C. United States Code 101, false statements, which really that isn't the proper citation for that law whatsoever. There's a proper citation if you're going to cite on a United States Code as the what you're talking about, there's a proper legal citation for it. And this isn't it. And we'll look closer. Got a case number.
God, you can go outside.
Information. See Michael
Good
T.
Lord.
Flynn. See how they put that in all caps? They don't have it in the proper case. Got
Good
to
Lord.
the proper case, but that's your name or the defendant's name. And this is the other thing. See, they've made the defendant Michael T. Flynn. Well, if you're the defendant in court, you're guilty because you shouldn't be the defendant if there was a probable cause to have you there. So by you agreeing to be the defendant, Michael T. Flynn, right, you've already lost in this fictitious simulated legal process that's taking place in a different jurisdiction, because if the United States of America is supposed to be the government, well, then this isn't the United States. This is King George's jurisdiction. And, right, Robert S. Mueller, well, he doesn't exist. That's nobody's full legal name. Neither is Brandon L. Van Grack, or Zanab N. Ahmed. Those are not people's full legal names, and as we'll see, for any of these attorneys to have participated in a federal court, United States District Court, or the District of Columbia, or whatever the proper name is supposed to be, well, they have to have their name filed with the clerk. And when you look at the names filed with the clerk, there isn't any attorneys listed with a middle initial name. That's not their legal name. It would be Robert, whatever his middle name is, Mueller. So let's look at that real quick. All right, that's probably the best place to go next. Before we get into your particular pieces of paper, let's just look at this. So here's the United States District Court, Western District of Michigan. Now see, this doesn't say for the. You notice that, sir? Right? So here's one for the District of Columbia. This one doesn't say for the Western District of Michigan. It just says United States District Court, Western District of Michigan. So apparently, the for the would make it a different court, because it has a different name. Now, this is the one that has the seals, so we would assume this is the proper jurisdiction. And so what we had done is we had asked, in this particular Linda's case, right, we had asked to get a copy of whatever they filed with the clerk or an attorney, and it says, please let this letter serve as confirmation that Attorney Dean Edward Rittenberg has been admitted to the United States District Court for the Western District of Michigan. Now here they use for the. Here they didn't use for the. Here they use for the, and this is for District of Columbia, but so it's like this jurisdiction here goes with, apparently, this jurisdiction here, but this clerk here isn't the clerk of that court, she's the clerk of some other court. Because they're using the word for the in one and not in the other. And it has a seal. I don't know if you can, I should have read this ahead of time, but District Court, it's actually got stuff on the inside and the outside of the seal, which I had looked at before, so just a second. Okay, sir, I can't say exactly what it says, but it looks like it says seal of the U.S. District Court, District of, I don't think you can fit Michigan in there, so I don't know what that is, and then District something, and it's for the, and I can't read the rest of it. But it must say like Western District of Michigan, because that's what this is. But why does it say U.S. Why does it? How come they did not use United States District Court? Because that's what it's supposed to be. U.S. is a military abbreviation of United States. That would be the, used by a military tribunal, maybe, or a territorial court under federal troops or something. But it's not United States District Court, right? I mean, it's not like they can't afford to put the letters on it. They could have said United States District Court. But they put U.S. District Court. See, here it says United States District Court, Western District of Michigan. It's on this seal. Actually, what would that be? That would be a coat of arms. Right, there's a coat of arms, and it's got it around the outside of the coat of arms, but it's not the same as what's in here. And so, this is some other jurisdiction court other than a constitutional United States District Court. That's my opinion. But back to why we're here, because it's Dean Edward Rittenberg we were talking about. See, that's his name there. And the same gentleman from the seal of the Michigan Supreme Court, Dean Edward Rittenberg. All right, this is from the Supreme Court of the State of Michigan, which this is supposed to be their, they call it the roll of attorneys, right? So if you were to ask for a certificate of good standing from an attorney, they're supposed to be able to provide you a piece of paper like this that would have their name on it, Dean Edward Rittenberg. Well, that matches this guy, so they both agree that he's, doing business as Dean Edward Rittenberg. Or at least that's the name that's licensed to practice law. But when he does paperwork and submits it into a court case, he does it as Dean E. Rittenberg. Well, Dean E. Rittenberg isn't licensed to practice law in Michigan or in the United States. We just saw what names are. And then you see that, the United States trustees got the same thing. So I don't know where this middle initial jurisdiction is supposed to be, but that's where they're trying to take you to, because that's where they are. I'm just saying, well, that's not the United States. That's this thing called the United States of America, and it's a foreign jurisdiction. You shouldn't be there. So let me show you where that comes from. Okay, sir, so this isn't the first time I've shown this stuff. It's, not the second or even the 10th. It has to be at least 20 times I've shown things like the Treaty of Peace to say, well, look at the Treaty of Peace, what it says. It says it was ratified and proclaimed by the Congress of the United States, right? Continental Congress. So apparently the United States has to do with the Continental Congress. And in here it says that...
Excuse me, let me check something out really quick.
Coat of arms. Right, there's a coat of arms, and it's got it around the outside of the coat of arms.
Beautiful.
It having pleased the divine providence to dispose the hearts of the most serene and most potent King George III by the grace of God, King of Great Britain, France, and Ireland, defender of the faith, Duke of Brunswick and Lunenburg, Arch-Treasurer and Prince-Elector of the Holy Roman Empire, and of the, lowercase, the United States of America. Right? So he claims jurisdiction over the United States of America in a treaty, and it was never, disputed. Which is different than in the Articles of Confederation, where it says in the first article, establish the name of the Confederation with these words. It says, the style of this Confederacy shall be the United States of America. So, the United States of America is on money, on a Federal Reserve note. It's on a certificate of naturalization. United States of America is on a passport. And on the passport, they put your name backwards. And if you were to look in the way they have your name, actually in the docket, maybe not on the paperwork, but in the docket, it's last name, comma, first name. So, it's, it's a foreign jurisdiction. I guess we just had to get over it. Yeah, a second. So, General, you should be able to go to the United States District Court, District of Columbia, to the clerk's office and get one of these for each and every attorney that participated in your court case, whether they were for you or against you. I believe you'll find out eventually they were all against you. Because they're all members of the bar, right? It's the bar that's doing this. This is every state has a bar, and every attorney has to be a member of the bar. And the bar, to become a member, makes everybody, they suspend their First Amendment rights. Right? So it's really an organization that's at war with our constitutional form of government. and yet it's in charge of the legal system. Well, how do you think that's going to work out? So you could get this, again, from the court, and then if you went to just to ask the attorney, say you want to have a copy of their certificate of good standing, right? If they want to participate, if they want to adjudicate any case in the District of Columbia, they had to be a member of this DC bar. So ask them for a copy of their certificate of good standing, and you'll see that on there is their full legal name, and what they did in your court case, they didn't use their full legal name. Now, what you can do with that afterwards, I'm going to leave to you, but I'm going to say, well, that's evidence of an insurrection. And so Title 10 of the United States Code, Armed Forces, it gives, everything is here that we need to put an end to this craziness right now. We don't need the commander-in-chief if we don't have one because he didn't take the proper oath of office. That's fine. General Miley can do it. Use the militia and armed forces to enforce federal authority. That's what we need to happen. And it isn't just in Chapter 13. It's here in Chapter 15. Where's that 15 at? Insurrection. So there's the authority to do what needs to be done, right? The Army can come over today and take over. We don't need to wait any longer. You have the evidence. You participated in the evidence gathering. Heck, you were the subject of the evidence. Right, Michael Thomas Flynn. It's not the name they were charging you with, sir. Okay, hang on, please. Just a few more little details to clear up first. So here's the manual for Courts Martial, United States, 2016 edition. And if you search on Rule 202, right, persons subject to the jurisdiction of courts martial. There's actually two rules because there's a second section that has to do with judicial notice. But Rule 202, persons subject to jurisdiction of courts martial and general courts martial may try any person when authorized to do so under the code. And it goes on to explain it in more detail, but I'm saying, well, that includes you because it includes me. I've never been released from the military, and, you're a general. I know you've never been released, so you're still in the military. Then you should have been tried by court-martial. You're going to put up with that crap. Okay, moving along. Now, sir, whoever the Pop-Tart is sitting up there as the judge in your court case has got one of these documents either from Donald J. Trump or Barack Obama. What's his middle H? Yeah? Obama? Right? And some name other than their full legal name, right? They have a copy of a document that looks like this that we're supposed to believe is their commission for them to be a federal judge. Well, Donald J. Trump is not the president of anything. That is not his full legal name, right? It's a wrong jurisdiction. If they're using that name, it's not the United States, it's the wrong jurisdiction. When there you are, President of the United States of America. All right, again, this is King George's jurisdiction. Which, that's what the Constitution's all about, just so everybody knows, right? You have the United States of America and United States of America, and they're going to be in union under this thing called the Constitution, which the government of the United States is supposed to enforce. And so those who go get a proper oath of office and get a commission and do everything right, down to the jot and tittle, well, then they have authority under the Constitution of the United States. But if they don't do it right, if there's an error or an omission or something else to keep the paperwork from being done right, then they're not an officer of the United States. Right? The job isn't over until the paperwork's done. And, the schemers know that. So they make sure the shit doesn't get done right. Because whoever this is not a judicial officer of the judicial branch of government. They're under this seal here is the seal of the Department of Justice. Right? They're merely a administrative judge under the Department of Justice.
Folks, I am going to read you this video. I just want you to know this is one of the best videos I've ever had. I'm going to go ahead and pause this and stop this for now. I have to, because I have to call my boss and go to work, but I'm going to redo this today or tomorrow. I have to start part 2 here in a minute. It's going to run out. I will be back. God bless you.